a lot has happened over the past weekend. Fortunately for us, the NBA has gotten itself to a very good spot, and we want to go ahead and talk about it a little bit, kind of cover what has happened over the weekend and what it means for the potential future of the league. So, top news, Kawhi watch is finally over. As you guys know, he went ahead and he signed the contract with the Los Angeles Clippers. So Chris Broussard actually tweeted out on Thursday that the Clippers have been or were out of the race as a potential for Kawhi's signing. It was actually between the Lakers and the Toronto Raptors. So it turns out that Kawhi Leonard was actually looking for a second superstar to help him out on one of these two teams. And then if that wasn't the case, then he would have signed to the Lakers. But the Clippers were actually able to acquire Paul George in a trade with the Oklahoma City Thunders. They were able to give off two players, one of them being one of the top rookies, and 5 first-round picks to go ahead and acquire Paul George. Toronto also had an opportunity here where they would have traded Siakam and a number of picks, but they would have actually been able to acquire Russell Westbrook and Paul George. But due to the uncertainty of Kawhi's future with the franchise and giving up a player such as Siakam, which could potentially be the face of the Raptors in the future, just due to the growth that he's had with the franchise over the past few seasons, they felt that it wasn't fit, and they were going to be giving up a lot for a contract that is absurd, where Russell Westbrook has a 4th-year opt-in option with almost $50 million on the line. That being said, they went ahead and passed on that. The Clippers were able to get it done with Paul George, and that led to Kawhi Leonard signing with the Clippers over the Toronto Raptors and over the Los Angeles Lakers. This kind of puts the NBA in a very nice spot, just due to the fact that it didn't lead to another dynasty right after Golden State's dynasty ended. As you guys know, the Golden State has kind of had that first place slot granted, and the only reason they didn't win this year was due to the fact that Kevin Durant was injured alongside Klay Thompson. That kind of gave the opportunity or the open space for the Raptors to come in and take that title. So again, this kind of puts the league at an even point where now teams are actually building dynamic duos. 2 top tier players playing side by side, and then it's supplemented with depth. That's the ideal equation for a NBA team in 2020. So right now we have dynamic duos in LeBron James and Anthony Davis. We have dynamic duo with the new Kawhi Leonard joining Paul George, KD and Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn. We also have Middleton alongside Giannis over in Milwaukee, Klay Thompson and Steph, the Splash Brothers, in Golden State, and obviously Chris Paul alongside James Harden over in Houston. So after Kawhi Leonard actually chose to finalize his deal with the Clippers, the Lakers had no time to waste. They actually went ahead and signed his former teammate Danny Green, which after that they went ahead and they signed Boogie Cousins, former teammate to Anthony Davis and Rajon Rondo, and they went ahead and added Rajon Rondo as well to the team. So we will be seeing that team kind of come back together in Los Angeles for a second time. As you guys know, they did some damage in New Orleans when they played together. Now we're adding LeBron James to that equation and Kyle Kuzma to that equation. So it should be a really good season for the Lakers. This kind of puts the league in a place where it's not so much of a stroll in the ballpark anymore. Again, there's competition again. It's great. It's anybody's game for first place. Yeah, we have our favorites, but at the end of the day, guys, Portland has a chance. Utah Jazz has a chance because they have more solidified depth as opposed to like two superstars. But these type of teams, now they have a chance. They could actually come out and about and have a really good season and kind of change the trajectory. It's not really set to these teams in the final. So post Paul George's trade, OKC kind of saw it fit to enter like a reboot stage for the franchise, their first reboot stage actually. So they actually went ahead, and Russell Westbrook was speaking to his agent, and they were trying to go ahead and continue on to a trade. Within that trade, he actually requested to get traded to the Lakers. The Lakers don't have the room for him just due to the cap space situation and whatnot. But some notable mentions for teams that could have an opening for him are the Miami Heat. They're looking to pursue him. The Detroit Pistons and the Houston Rockets, surprisingly. So as you guys know, Daryl Morey, the GM for the Rockets, was actually in pursuit of Jimmy Butler earlier this season, trying to have James Harden talk him into coming over into the Houston Rockets. As we spoke about here, actually, Jimmy Butler, in addition to Chris Paul and a player such as James Harden, would have actually not been the best fit for them, just due to the fact that they're very dynamite. All three of them, actually, they have very short fuses and they could get sparked just like that. So we spoke that it wasn't such a good addition. Now, if you're adding Russell Westbrook, which is also a very short fuse player, to this type of roster, and on top of that, I feel like Jimmy Butler wasn't such a ball dominant player as Russell Westbrook. He's more of a team player, or he knows how to manage a team better. I feel like Jimmy Butler would have been a way better fit than Russell Westbrook for all the reasons. Now, Daryl Morey has the belief that the more superstars you add, the better the team, and that's kind of true to a certain extent, but there's no chemistry there, and he should actually pursue more depth in general to supplement the two stars that he has on the team. But the Miami Heat are actually pursuing them as well, but Jimmy Butler had requested with Pat Riley that he wanted to be the next D Wade of the Miami Heat. Obviously, he'll never match Dwayne Wade, but he wanted to basically carry that legacy and basically get his jersey retired at some point. He wants to do that type of work for the Miami Heat, and if there were superstars added to the roster, it would be to supplement him as opposed to him supplementing them. And as we all know, Russell Westbrook, as long as he played with the OKC Thunders, he's the guy. He's the center of attention. He's actually forced the team to go ahead and keep him at the center. That is why Kevin Durant left. That is why they had to trade James Harden. That is why Paul George now has requested to leave as well. It's due to the fact that Russell is a very tough player to fit into any type of roster. And the last option for Russell Westbrook, or the last team that's actually looking towards him, is the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons, as you guys know, acquired Blake Griffin earlier this season. Way back when Blake Griffin actually entered free agency, one of the very notable teams that he could have gone to was the OKC Thunder. And a lot of people developed that relationship, and they kind of thought that it was going to happen right before he re-signed with the Clippers. So now there's actually another opportunity to see these two players play together. I think it's one of the best fits, actually, just due to the fact that Blake Griffin's a very team-based player, and he's also a superstar. So I feel like he could come to agreements, and they could kind of learn how to play with each other. I feel like they're the most compatible out of the three options for Russell Westbrook, hands down. That would actually make another dynamic duo up in Detroit. Or if he does head to Miami, that would give Miami another dynamic duo to look at. So a lot of good things coming this season, and be sure that we will be covering it right here in this channel. I hope you guys have a great Monday, and I hope you guys enjoyed today. And without further ado,